Senator Graham, how frustrated are you when it comes to sanctioning Russia?
Well, number one,
especially when you look at your president.
Your opening statement was pretty frustrating. That somehow Trump's the problem here. Really? The world order you want to hang on to? How well has that worked? Putin's invaded, what, 3 times? Nothing Europe has done in the past has deterred Putin. And quite frankly, nothing we did in the past deterred Putin. Your approach to Iran is just give it more money. So I'm glad that world order is fading because it's a complete failure. Now, what will work? What does Putin want? How many people believe he wants to take all of Ukraine? You know who said that? Trump. He wants it all. This is a war based on a guy who wants to reconstruct the past, who has got a view that Ukraine does not deserve to exist, and he's not going to stop until somebody stops him. So you got a 2-point plan? Great. It ain't working. I told the administration that if you want to end this war, you got to get China involved in this war. So we went and talked to the Chinese ambassador. You buy cheap Russian oil. Well, it's not going to be so cheap anymore. Trump put a 25% tariff on India for buying Russian oil. Before the war, they were buying 3%. Then it went up to 30% after the war. Trump put tariffs, now it's going back. So I've got a bill with Dick. The sanctions, fine. It hasn't changed the behavior we're desiring to change. Putin will be, he doesn't care how many of his people die, right? He just wants to hang around. Well, his customers need to care about propping up this war machine. You know, the Chinese told me, well, what's China all about? 3 things: harmony, moderation, and family. I said, well, you're going to have a hard time selling people in Ukraine that China's into harmony. Without China, he would be out of business. Without Brazil and without India, he would be out of business. So we've got a bill. 85 co-sponsors. You know how hard it is to get 85 senators to agree on anything? Putin's done more to bring us together in the Senate than anybody in America. I'd give him the NATO Man of the Year award if he would come and get it. Bottom line is 2 things I want to do. I want to give tomahawks. I want the U.S. to supply tomahawks to reach out and hurt the infrastructure that he counts on to build the drones and all the other stuff. I want to change the military equation. Secondly, I want to pass our bill, and I want to give President the tools to go to these major countries and say, you're propping up a killing machine. You want to have a normal relationship with the United States? Act normal. It's not normal for a country to take the worst people on the planet and buy their oil cheap and think they're good global citizens. Venezuela, Iran, and now Russia. China's their biggest purchaser. So I'd like to have a better relationship with China. Well, if you don't change your behavior, you're going to run into a real pushback in America. You're not normal. You're buying cheap oil at the expense of a lot of people losing their lives and their family. Some breaking news. This is from Leader Thune. There's broad bipartisan support for increasing the pressure on Russia, its leaders, its economy that is continuing to fuel its year-long war machine. Leader Thune committed to bringing our bipartisan bill to the floor as soon as it's clear that there are sufficient votes to pass it in the United States Senate and be signed by the President. There are sufficient votes to pass the bill. So get it to the floor. Let's vote. Senator Blumenthal has been terrific. I got people on the bill before Trump said he was for it. Dick is getting people to help Trump, which is like the most radioactive thing you could do as a Democrat. The point is that we're working together for a common cause. I went to Saudi Arabia and Jerusalem 8 times trying to help Biden normalize between Saudi Arabia and Israel. I was told Republicans, don't let Trump do that. No, do it if you can. So to my Democratic colleagues who want to give President Trump tools to end this war, thank you. Because when the war ends, it ends in a way that Taiwan is not taken by China. If we sell out Ukraine, there goes Taiwan. If we get this right, where security guarantees prevent a third invasion, and he'll come back until somebody makes him stop. We have a free, independent, standing Ukraine. NATO is bigger, NATO is stronger. Ukraine's got the best military in Europe and will continue to have that military, and there are security guarantees, unlike Budapest, then we can end this war honorably and justly. You're not going to get every Russian out. You got to deal with the reality on the ground, but how you end this war will affect the entire world for decades to come. To Senator Blumenthal, thank you for doing something that's hard. Our bill allows President Trump to put tariffs on any country buying Russian energy or doing business with Russia. That's not helping Ukraine. He can go from 0 to 500 and go back down, and it expires after 3 years.